excited.
Here we are in our Thursday live card readings. We shall wait as usual to see if anyone joins. And then if there are any questions around career or spiritual path, personal path and development, then we'll pull some cards for you for that question. But yeah, I suppose we just gotta give it at least a few minutes before everyone's being notified that we're even live.
Yes, exactly.
So,
Should go pop up on YouTube at least. And Facebook, actually, Facebook makes a sound now when somebody goes live on my phone.
does it?
I get a little...
I've got my phone on silent constantly, so I don't even know.
Ah.
Because otherwise it would have been pinging non-stop, and I just go, ooh, ooh. You know, even though it's nothing like that's actually important that I have to look at like right now. So it's just constantly off unless I'm out, and then in case someone calls me, then I put it on, but otherwise yeah. Cool. So it's very hot here in UK.
It's really, I can't believe how hot it's been this last few weeks. I'm melting.
Yeah.
Not
pretty early this year for it to be that hot.
Yeah, it is. Normally it's not. This is like middle of, well, it is summer, I guess now, isn't it?
Even technically summer yet?
Really? No, not until the
calendar summer.
21st, 22nd.
Usually, yeah. The last few years I noticed it was usually like towards end of July that it started getting hot like this, over 25 degrees.
Yeah. It's been really bizarre. I mean, it is wonderful. It's just we're just not prepared for it.
Yeah.
If we had aircon, I'd be delighted with it because I'd go out in the sun and come in the cold, but because it's just hot everywhere, you can't get comfy. But no, I don't mind. I'll put up with it because I love the sun.
Yeah,
I still filthy my windows are, which is a bit annoying.
Yeah, I still prefer that over winter, to be honest.
Oh yeah,
I'm a sun-loving person.
Yeah, me too. It doesn't even have to. I'm not bothered about heat. Heat doesn't bother me. I'm happy in the middle of winter when it's cold, as long as the sun's out. If the sun's out, I'm fine. But when it's just grey and overcast, I feel really claustrophobic. And when it's like that for such a long time, like this winter just went on and on and on, and I get a little bit of seasonal affective disorder. I take extra strong vitamin D tablets to try and get me through it, but I do need some sunlight.
Yeah.
Even if it's weak, just some sunlight. And when I get it, it's like, oh gosh, wow.
Yeah, I know. Same, yeah. It makes such a difference. It really does. Yeah.
What's happened to your voice then? Are you getting...
I have no idea. I don't know what it is. It's not like I was talking a lot today or anything. I was doing a little bit of a live yesterday, but what was that, like 20 minutes? And yeah, I have no idea. But maybe I am a little bit tired just in general, and it just kind of shows in my voice. I don't know.
Could be. It's not hay fever, is it?
Well, maybe. I mean, I never had it. I was never allergic, but recently I started wondering whether maybe I am actually a little bit, but very lightly.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's a good idea. It could be. It very much could be a little bit of that. Yeah. But I was never bad during like spring or anything, especially when they cut grasses. I never had any issues with this stuff.
You can sometimes, because I didn't grow up with hay fever. I got hay fever probably, I don't know how long I've had it, 10 years maybe. I got it when I got older. It's fairly mild, and actually it seems to be improving. I get it in the spring, but as soon as it gets towards the summer, it goes.
Right.
So it's not so bad now.
Yeah, and I kind of noticed that I think hay fever also affects you in a way that you feel a bit more tired, maybe, or like, doesn't it? And I've noticed that I've been feeling like that, especially sometimes in the mornings, and there was no reason. So I think maybe I just developed it over time.
Yeah, it could be.
Well, yeah, that kind of makes sense. So. If anyone is watching us live, or if you have any question around your career or spiritual and personal path development, then let us know in the comments, and we'll pull some cards for you with advice or guidance, rather. Or just say hello.
Yeah, I was going to say, oh, I've just dropped my deck. If you don't want a reading, you can just say hi.
Yeah.
Let us know you're here. Drop us a little emoji.
Yeah, exactly. I can't, like, I remember when emojis started coming out, and at first I was like, oh my gosh, like that's too much, but now I can't write anything without one. It's like, it's just wrong because I feel like it doesn't express exactly how I'm feeling about whatever it is I'm writing or what I want to express exactly. It's like, you can't live without them.
Boring on its own. Like every now and again, you feel like I need to just convey a little bit of love with this, or a little bit of excitement. Like I like the star emoji because it's like exciting. So that's probably my most common one to use.
Yeah, it's like either also for me either the star eyes or the heart eyes. Like,
I love them.
Or the heart around. It's like there should be like stars around probably as well. It's like exciting. Or like a little wink, when you're like being cheeky. Yeah. Can't live without them now.
Exactly. When we first, I remember my first mobile, showing my age now, text messaging hadn't been invented back then. So all we had was a phone and voicemail, which I was like, oh my God, voicemail, how exciting. And I had a big aerial on it. And then eventually when they brought text messaging out, because I love anything tech related, I was so excited. But yeah, back in those days, it was so easy to misconstrue a message because you just get words. You don't get, if it's sarcastic, you need the winking emoji. Yeah. How else are you gonna know you're being sarcastic? I'm British. I always sound sarcastic. It's just how I speak.
Yeah.
Hi Diana, how you doing?
Oh, hi Diana. How's your day going?
I got 2 different decks with me tonight.
Yeah.
For a change, I got something different as well. I got this one.
Oh, yes.
Tarot. I like this one. It's quite funky and modern and bright and colourful.
And then this one too.
Oh, you got that one? Yeah, this is quite popular, that deck. And then this one.
Oh, yes, I like this one as well.
Oh, have you got this one?
I do.
Very few people have got this.
Yeah, I love those cards. Because I love working with color, and the colors on these cards are really, really good.
Yeah, I like them as well, because once you sort of get used to all the different shades, you've got more tools in your toolbox then to use when you're shown a colour. And I didn't realise there were so many colours because it's quite a big deck.
We're good, Diana. Thank you for asking. We're just talking about the heat here in the UK. Oh, got a long message. 1 second.
Okay.
So whoever's from Facebook, by the way, please just state your name as well, because unfortunately StreamYard just tells us that it's a Facebook user. Oh, Stacy. Okay, thank you. Thanks, Stacy May.
Stacy, awesome. Right, let's have a look. So, wanting to open a Reiki business, with animals, animal Reiki.
Okay, so the question, so the question mainly is about how that will affect the relationship, is what I'm seeing.
Okay.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, we do apologize. Unfortunately, whenever you guys are commenting from my Facebook group, it only says Facebook user unless you give StreamYard permission. And as we know, for some reason, it doesn't always work either. So, but there is a link in the description to give StreamYard permission to share your name. So if there's anyone else apart from Diana and Stacy Maiden, please put your name down. Thank you. Okay, Stacy Maiden.
Okay, so I pulled a few cards, Stacey. So it's quite interesting, this one. So what I've been looking at is, how will it be received by your brother? How will the relationship sort of pan out if you're going to be working potentially at the same? Probably it will become both of your responsibilities. So first of all, I've got the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands for me always represents building foundations, strong foundations, and very often working from home. So building a business in your own space, in your own home. The Four of Wands is usually a very positive card, and is encouraging you to make sure it's built with a steady, solid foundation, so that it becomes a sensible business and a sensible thing to do, where it can be profitable, where it's going to work. Setting those firm foundations in place. Whether you do that before you have the conversation or not, I don't know. I don't know how far ahead you are in the planning, if it's just concept stage, but it might be that you're guided to go in with a plan rather than saying, I want to do this, and having him go, oh, well, I'm not sure about that. It might be that you'll need to be a bit more, show that you've thought about it, show that it's viable when you present that to him. Now, at some point, it might be met with a little bit of concern or a little bit of disappointment there around, he might worry about that business or worry about, how's this going to pan out? Is this going to work? How is this going to impact me? But actually, looking a little bit further ahead, I don't think there's anything to be too concerned about there. I think going in with a plan, spelling it all out, making sure there's a good solid foundation there, and then seeing like a partnership being formed. And when I asked if this was you and him, I've actually got the Three of Pentacles. Now, the Three of Pentacles is collaborations, usually with more than one person. So it might be that at some point somebody else is brought in. Now, whether that is your dad or somebody else, I don't know, but there is going to be like a collaborative approach with you and more than one other person. So maybe that might make things easier if there's more than two of you there, take away some of that anxiety. Oh, what if it goes wrong? What do I have to do? So it might be that you need to bring in somebody else as well into those conversations around making it viable, steady, safe, all of those things. And I'm also seeing the Star, which is very much about having some hope and optimism. So it does actually sound like this is something that you can feel quite hopeful for the future. Just working through the initial, that slight worry, and my fiance is a partner in this. So it could be the three of you then coming together in a collaborative approach or perhaps looking at slightly different angles about, okay, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? But actually coming together will make that a stronger proposition anyway. So yeah, it looks like quite an interesting thing to do, and it sounds wonderful as well. Sounds like a great idea for a business.
Right. Okay, so yeah, so I have something actually similar to what Mel was talking about, but I'll start from the beginning because this is like the third card. So so I pulled the angel cards for you and also some angel tarot. And from what I can see, it's actually that Reiki business that you're thinking of starting. It feels to me like it's very much inspired action for you. So it's something that perhaps you've been thinking about quite a long time, and it's like it came to you from the universe. I want to say, because there was one extra card that jumped, and it says Mother, Father, God. And that card always makes me think about just our like plans that are divinely inspired. So that's just like one thing on the side. When it comes to your question, whether that would create any problems between you and your brother, I don't see that happening at all. If anything, I feel like you're maybe a little bit too worried that it will than it actually would, because it seems to me like you have a really good connection with your brother. We have the romance and connection card as your strength. Perhaps because I obviously saw that you mentioned your partner, your fiance, so perhaps he is also here included in the sense of support. But asking about your brother, I feel like there is a understanding between the two of you, and if anything, your worries maybe are coming up because you just care so much, right? It's not like, that's how it kind of looks to me, that it's not like he even said anything, or he, like, as if you guys argue in general. It's just you care so much that you just ahead of yourself with worries kind of thing. So the second card is a card of surrender, and the surrender card is basically just saying, if it comes up, if anything comes up that you might not be happy with entirely in the sense of what he's saying, then just let it be. I don't feel, what I'm trying to say is that I don't feel like he would really be creating any problems, really. So just, it's like surrender that worry. I want to say it's like, it's like almost problem is not existent. The challenge card is the earth and ground, and that's the bit that Mel was talking about preparation. It has to be a really solid plan. Make it, because it's great to have an idea and a dream and a vision, but I feel like there's a lot of preparation, and perhaps if there was a challenge with your brother or some sort of misunderstanding, or him not being happy, it would come up if you didn't have a solid plan. If you didn't cross your T's, dot your I's, and have some sort of a very grounded approach, reasonable and grounded, rational approach to present to him, then maybe perhaps that would be something that he wouldn't, it might stop him in his tracks and kind of make him not super excited about it, really. But otherwise, because I've pulled a few more cards for that challenge of the grounding from the tarot, and we have all very positive cards. So 3 of Wands, so that's again being very, very excited and preparing for preparing for our future, preparing for the action, making solid plans and really creating the vision in a more grounded way. And then you have 6 of Wands, recognition, which is a card of triumph. 6 of Wands is when we are able to create that plan. So with that grounding challenge, I feel like you will overcome that. And you'll have quite a bit of support. Knight of Cups. I wonder, is your brother younger than you? I just wonder if your brother is younger, because I feel like he will actually be very encouraging and helpful, and you might be surprised positively surprised as to what he has to say about this, really. And then, because I'm like, can't help myself, I pulled one more card. He's older, right? Okay. With like a angel advice. I got this one for you, and it says, "Don't hate, meditate." So that just tells me that, if you're worried, just meditate and basically don't worry about it. Just calm down, through meditation or whatever other processes you might have, because I don't feel like those worries are really substantiated that much. And it says here, because it's from an angel prayer deck, so there's a little prayer on the card, and it says, "Thank you, angels, for guiding me to love through meditation." So if you need a little bit of help on the way, if you're a little bit too anxious, then, angels can help. And if you meditate already, then please continue, and it will help you through it.
I just put the card at the end there just because I want to use my colour cards because I'm excited about them. Just to see what colour comes in for you at the moment. And it's this one, Scarlet. So Scarlet is a colour of power, of energy, of creativity and victory as well. So this is actually a really encouraging colour to see. So you've got a nice idea there for a business, and the strength and the creative power to be able to make it work. So that's nice and encouraging as well.
Yeah. And as I was putting the cards away, it just popped in my head, because I think you said it was, I don't know if it was your parents or one of your parents' property, but I feel like you've got their blessing, because the Mother, Father, God card also talks about our past loved ones on the other side. So I just thought I need to mention that as well. So yeah, it sounds really exciting.
That sounds like my idea of heaven. Somewhere where animals all getting healing. Like I just want to, I would just come and enjoy the vibe.
That is an amazing idea.
Are you welcome?
You're most welcome, Stacey May.
So if there's anybody else that would like a reading, pop your question in the comments. You can ask us anything you like about your career or your spiritual path. If you're on Facebook, pop your name in as well, just because we can't see who's commenting. It all comes up as Facebook user. So pop your name and your question. Oh, it looks like there's a new one. Oh.
Okay. If you could just give us your first name, or even just a nickname, I think. Are you okay with nicknames, Mel? I don't know how you...
Yeah, I'm okay with nicknames. It's just as long as I know who I'm connecting in, because they all say Facebook user. Exactly. So, I just need a name. First name is fine. Unless that still stays Stacey, I'm not sure. Let us know your name, whoever's just popped the comment in.
And I'm just going to show it so that you know who we're talking about. Oh, Diana. Oh, did you sign up and it didn't work? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know.
I've had that before. I've had the same. It's pretty weird. Okay. Oh, what am I doing? Wrong one. Back off.
This year and the next year, you say?
Oh. I'd like to ask for readings about the future of my business this and next year. Okay, so we've got another 6 months left in this year, and then 12 months in the next. So the next 18 months. Let's have a look. Okay, so Diana, what I've just pulled a few cards, so I don't know the strict timeline. I haven't said like 1 to 3 months, 4 to 6, anything like that. I've just pulled some cards in a linear fashion to see what do you need to be aware of in terms of your business over the coming 18 months. So what we've got is there's something. I've got the Eight of Swords. Now the Eight of Swords is when you're doing something that you're sort of doing it because you feel like you've got to, but you're feeling a bit trapped by it. You're feeling a bit stuck with it. Now, that might be that you're plodding along in your business and you're doing the same things, but you just feel like, oh, I'm not getting anywhere. Or it might be that you're doing something that perhaps you're not quite as excited by anymore and you're feeling a bit stuck with it. So it's not an awful energy to be in because you've got the power to change that if it's something that you feel like, oh, okay, I'm not enjoying this as much as I used to, or I'm feeling like I'm not getting anywhere. It might be that you're doing something you love, but you're not getting anywhere because it's this feeling of just being trapped and stuck, which isn't a nice feeling, but it is something that can be changed, of course, and we can bring these changes into our business. If there's something that you need to change up, or it's not working for you anymore and you're feeling a bit stuck with it, maybe it's time to let that go. And that's something you can sit with and really feel into, okay, what area of my business am I feeling stuck? And what options have I got to release myself from the stuckness? Now, coming in after that, we've got the King of Pentacles, which is far more positive. Now, the King of Pentacles is when you've built something nice and steady and solid and you're seeing some material success. You've got some stability, you've got some money around it as well. And it's very much an energy of, it's a steady energy. It's not a suddenly boom, everything takes off. It's being rewarded for your hard work and your efforts kind of energy. So that is coming in after this period of time where you might start feeling a bit stuck. Whether you're feeling stuck now or whether that's coming in, know that that King of Pentacles is coming after that, so things will improve. Now you might get a little bit of might be a little bit like a roller coaster this next 18 months, because after that lovely period of stability and growth and success and feeling quite comfortable and stable, you might start fretting a little bit and worrying. Because I've got the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is when a bit of anxiety creeps in and you worry about things. So when that happens, again, just sit with that and work out, okay, what's this feeling trying to tell me? What is it that I need to work on? And again, you've then got another positive card after that. So it is going to do this a little bit. And you've got the Two of Wands. Now, Two of Wands is when you've made a start with something and then you've set a foundation and then the world's your oyster. So it might be that you're considering your options again and you're thinking, okay, I could go this way, I could go that way. Either way, I'm going to be successful. It's not an unpleasant card. It's actually a really good card to show that you've got options ahead of you and you might have a choice to make. In what way you want to go, but either way you go will bring success, because the Wands cards is about moving forward, not feeling trapped. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a roller coaster, but there are some positive things coming in for you over the next 18 months.
Right, okay. So what I got is that, so I've got sort of information about kind of where you are now and then how is it going to progress over time with that timeline in mind. And so right now you're pretty much at the beginning of building your business. We have Two of Pentacles, so that tells me that there's a lot of juggling, like there's quite a lot of things that are on your mind or a lot of offers. Maybe there's too much that you find yourself doing that you're not exactly have, that maybe you haven't streamlined in some way or something like that. It's the kind of a bit of an energy of having a lot of things, happening at once and just trying to juggle it and also juggle the finances because it's not very steady just yet. And that is coupled with the Ace of Pentacles, but that just tells me it's because it's the beginning, because it's all just starting up and starting to grow. Those are maybe your actions, let's say, but it doesn't mean it's always going to be like that. It's actually, the Two of Pentacles is quite, I would say, stabilized by the fact that you have Ace of Pentacles, and that means that you're on the right track because you are taking the right steps forward when it comes to growth of your business. And then when it comes to like future, so like by kind of like end of this year and next year, overall, we have the card of the World, and it says Angel of Success. So I feel like you will, you know, there will be a point where you will come to some conclusions within yourself when it comes to maybe the offerings that you have, or what you're about, or how to market, how to, you know, it's a card of completion as well. So I feel like those like juggling acts that maybe you're doing right now will balance out. Maybe starting, I would say this would be more like start of the year, next year. It will balance out, and it will bring you to a completion in a sense of you really know what you're doing and what's happening. But it will still require a little bit of balance because you have Temperance. So this is another major arcana saying that, you know, it's, although it will all come to like a bit more of a solid setup, let's call it, it will require you to balance things out a little bit, because you might actually, as I'm saying that, you might actually get a little bit maybe overwhelmed and feel like you have just too much work, which I know sometimes is not really a bad thing, but sometimes it can be, you know, when we're being a little bit too drained with all the work that we're doing. And if anything, the problem might be the fact that you're just having too much work to do, but then you're just kind of trying to find some sort of peace, right? So it's not a little bit too much. So maybe just keep that in mind once it starts getting too busy. And then the third card, you have a Page of Cups, and it says friendship on here. So I feel like you might be collaborating quite a bit, working with friends, perhaps. I mean, some of these things I kind of have a good suspicion of. But I feel like friendships in general will actually be quite significant in that sense. And it doesn't have to be the friendships that are, I'm not thinking just friendships as in personal, private life friendships, but collaborations with other people, maybe other businesses, you know, self-employed people who just have small businesses and they're looking to, you know, collaborate with others. So I feel like people will be a lot more involved, other people, with you. And when it comes to the strengths, so what will be, you know, in what area, let's say, you'll be really strong, and what might be a challenge. It's interesting that we have honesty and communication in your angel cards. This is your strength. When I asked what you need to focus on from now, you know, until next year, so that your business grows, I've got the card that talks about communication. You can't see, but it says communicate on here. Communicate with others more freely, speak up, you have a right to be heard. So I feel like that with your strength, that just says, just remember to keep on doing that wherever it is that you're communicating, if it's on social media, if it's, you know, I don't know, with any other businesses that you visit as a customer and you get into conversations, just keep talking about your business. And let the rest just come to you, I want to say, because you've got, again, Mother, Father, God. That's very much an energy of everything. So I feel like, you know, it just says, just follow your calling, whatever that may be. That's your heart card. Continue following your heart. If there's anything standing on the way, like I said, and you're doing too much of something that's no longer interested, then just leave it, because it's all fine. You're still on the right path. And Guardian Angel as your challenge card. Make sure that you keep talking to your angels. I know that you have recently started finding ways to do that. But the guardian angel card actually also, as I'm talking about it, it makes me think of just spirit in general. So angels, of course, but spirit, you still have spirit guides. Everyone has spirit guides, and also loved ones on the other side who can help us. So make sure that you communicate with them too whenever you need some help or clarity in anything. It's like, I feel like it's like the whole universe has your back, basically. So it's like, Diana, do you need help? Then talk to us, because we're all here to help you. So I hope that helps.
I've pulled a color card for you as well, Diana. Look what you got.
Ooh.
I love chocolate. I better not look at this card too much because it makes me hungry. So chocolate talks about nourishing your body and soul, although I'm not sure chocolate nourishes the body particularly, but it certainly nourishes.
Cocoa definitely does, so
yeah.
It can nourish your body, yes.
So what it's saying is chocolate is a mixture of brown and black that links us to the earth, providing healthy boundaries and encouraging structure. It also accesses your shadow side to offer deeper insights and growth, and it provides you with nourishment and resilience. So it's asking you to nourish your body and soul and to work on structure and boundaries, all the earthy things that you would expect from the colour brown is what you're being called to do at the moment. Fabulous. Thanks, Diana.
Thank you.
Very welcome. Would you like a colour card, Kat?
Yes, please.
Oh, you've got tangerine.
Oh, I'm loving.
So sacral chakra, orange, spice, spiciness, passion, fun. So this is saying be spontaneous and have fun.
Mm-hmm.
I will have a look in the guidebook actually because I quite like their little descriptions in here. So yeah, for me, orange is sacral chakra. It's creativity, it's fun, it's joy, it's pleasure. It's bright, it's colourful, it's getting out and about. So tangerine is a colour of vibrancy, creativity, zest for life and vitality. So it can open up your creative energies. It can symbolise warmth, richness, courage, spontaneity, confidence and determination as well. And it's saying activate tangerine energy and unleash your wild self.
I like that. Yeah, I feel like I have so much more energy now that I've had this week off, and I've done so much. Like all these days that I had off, it's not like I actually had them as holidays. I was just working on my own business, and it just took me hours, proper full day hours every single day. But I wasn't as exhausted as I would be with my day job.
I love how you whisper that.
It's like, yeah, it's like as if I don't say it out loud, it won't be in, anyone won't hear it. I just whisper on a public platform. Yeah.
Only YouTube, it's fine. And your Facebook group.
Yeah.
So are you off now?
I had holidays. I just booked holidays.
Oh, okay. So you've got to go back and then you're going off again
from next week. So that next week is my last week.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, the only thing, like I said at the start, it was just my arm. I can feel that it's getting strained now because I've been like doing so much. But otherwise, in my, I want to say in my aura, I feel good. Like I don't feel drained or anything. I just been doing a lot of clicking. That's all.
That's good. Yeah, I've been spending all day. I got up this morning, walked the dog. We got up about 6:30, walked the dog for an hour and a half, came back home, cleaned the house, sat down at my laptop, and literally just finished as I hopped on here tonight. And I've been optimizing my website, doing SEO, keyword research, changing up my meta descriptions and title tags and all that jazz. Everything takes so long. I don't know if it's just me, but I thought, I'll spend about half a day on that.
It's not just you. I'm not even there yet. I'm not even ready to even start looking at this stuff because it's just like that's another level of
time consuming. You look at the clock and you think, how is it like 5 o'clock?
Yeah.
Just how?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the other day I woke up quite early, around 5 or 6 a.m. I just couldn't sleep. And then whilst I was having my coffee in the morning, my breakfast, and I started already looking at something. And I actually didn't have an exact plan for that day. And then I looked at something and I was like, oh, okay, so that's what I'm doing. So then from then, it was like, 7, maybe 8 it was by then. I just sat down, started doing all of that. And then it's like, it's like 6, I need to go and eat some dinner. I was like, where did this time go?
Yeah, it's crazy. I just feel like I underestimate how long things take because I'm always optimistic to say, I book time in my diary. I'll book like 2 hours to do something and it will take me 8. I just think, how? I'm not slow.
Yeah, I know. Especially like when I update the website. It's like, I'll just, change a few things. I just need to maybe, rename or update the wording. And I just sit and I work on that and think about, how to word things. And then it's like 2 hours later. I'm like, what? I was just updating the text. Like, I don't know.
I know, it's crazy. Also, I noticed the things that I want to change when I go on, and then I get waylaid and I think, I need to update that. That doesn't look good on, it looks great on the laptop. And then when you check it on your mobile, it's gone all skewish. So then you have to go and optimize the page for mobile. So you're just doing it twice. I long for the day when I can pay somebody to do this stuff for me.
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to say one day an assistant. Because it's crazy just how long it all takes.
Yeah, it really
does.
Work
it really needs. That's the thing. Sometimes I would think, I just need to add this one product. And so I add it on and I'm like, hang on a minute. I need to put it in the calendar, obviously. Oh, wait, where do I put the link? Oh, now it's in the shop. So I need to link this to that. And then it's like, I just wanted to add this one thing on the website.
I'd like it if they could make it all voice activated and you could just give it a command and say, just do this for me and make it look like that in however you need to make that work. And then it just goes and it's done.
Yeah. I think, that might be the future, but probably not very soon.
Hi, Jeremy.
Hello, Jeremy. Thank you for joining. Do you have a question about a career or your spiritual path? Let us know in the comments.
Does that mean you've not had a reading before, Jeremy? That's okay. You can just ask a question. Just what do you want to know about maybe your career? Is there a burning question you've got about your job?
Oh, wow.
I'm
that's
waiting.
$1 million question, Jeremy. I don't know if that's... That's not the kind of question we can answer, I'm afraid. Those are big questions, Jeremy. I'll be honest with you. This is not the kind of question you want to ask on a mini YouTube reading. However, whatever you might have heard of psychic readers before, these are not actually the questions that anyone can ever answer, because there are way too many possibilities and reasons why you might not be wealthy or why you might be wealthy, become wealthy.
It's
So
really
with that,
subjective as well, isn't it? Wealthy. I mean, what does that mean?
what does it mean exactly? Got to be a little bit more practical, down to earth, Jeremy. In your life, what's happening right now that you might need some guidance on, that's related to your career, your job, perhaps. Yeah, because that's not you're not going to get an answer for that, I'm afraid.
Okay, so we've got Sunshine as well, asking for a general. So what we've got, Sunshine, is either career readings or spiritual path. So if you pick one and just ask a question, what is it that you'd like to know about your work or your spiritual journey? And then we can pull a couple of cards for you. It will be relatively quick because we haven't got a huge amount of time left. If you do have something specific you want to ask, then we can absolutely pull a couple of cards for you.
I would, I could, just so you guys know, whoever's just joined us now, we do have weekly podcast episodes and we talk about all things spiritual, psychic and stuff. We have talked about card readings, what to expect from card readings. So you're welcome to listen to those on our channels to understand a little bit more about what you can expect. So you're asking about chakras in general. Well, that depends on which chakra might be blocked and how that's showing up in your life, Jeremy, because each chakra is related to a different side of our being. And what makes you think that they're blocked anyway? These are very general questions, Jeremy, I gotta say. I mean, the one thing that actually comes to me is, have you tried Reiki? Because if you go to a Reiki practitioner, they can actually feel the energy of each of your chakras and they can tell you which one particularly might be blocked, if there are any blocked. Some chakras might be what's the word? Overactive? Is that
overactive? Yeah.
Yeah, so some of them might be too active, some might be blocked, but there are at least main 7 chakras that we all have.
So well done.
Yeah, I would suggest going to a Reiki practitioner who can read, who can balance your chakras and can tell you which ones might be blocked, if there are any.
Yeah, and Kundalini energy, I've got to be honest, I don't really know that much about Kundalini energy. I know that some people try to activate their Kundalini energy through things like yoga. Certain yoga moves apparently are good for that. I don't know about Kat. It's not my area of expertise, I've got to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, from what I understand, Kundalini is basically our spiritual awakening, something that will help our soul kind of rise up and be a little bit more present. That's how I understand it. It's that spiritual energy of ours. So yeah, I mean, so yeah, I can see how it's a very how do you say it, long topic. I think it's just our awareness of our spirit, of our soul, and letting that side of us speak to us a little bit more, being more open to, our clairs. All of our clairs are being more open. Direction on your life path, you say. Okay, Jeremy, you're asking very difficult questions, I must say. But we only have 3 minutes left. So the only thing I'll do is I'll just pull one card for you from the angels, just asking what advice they have for you right now, just in general. And I think that will be, that's my present for you from me, because I can't, it's impossible to do a mini reading for the questions that you have, which are very, very big questions.
Yeah, just while you're shuffling, so when we do like mini card readings, and it's a quick question. Say if you've been offered a job and you say, look, I've been offered a job, what will it be like if I take it? Is it for my highest good to take it? Is it in my best interest? What about if I stay where I am? Or how do I find my ideal job? Is there any guidance on that? Because I'm not happy where I'm at. I'm not happy with what I'm doing. Those sorts of questions, and it is a minefield when, if you've not had a tarot reading before, you're probably like, well, I don't know what to ask. And a little Google as well to sort of have a look at, well, what sort of questions can be helpful. I've got a blog post on my website as well on the types of questions that you can ask tarot and oracle cards. Might be having a little look-see, but I'll let Kat do a general.
Yeah, and we have those podcasts, I think you just said, didn't you, about what card readings are and how to approach them.
Yeah, we did our podcast on that as well.
Yeah, just listen to that and you'll have a little bit more of a better idea, I feel. But I asked the question of what's the advice for you when it comes to finding the right, or aligning yourself with your life path, because there can be many. And you have the card of opportunity and change, Jeremy. So that tells me that you perhaps are anxious of change, making changes. I feel like there are things that perhaps maybe you feel like you can't get on the right track in your life because you're waiting for something to come to you. But at the same time, things will not come to you unless you're open to receive them. And you have to get out there into the world and try different things. Because unless you try, you're not going to find out this life path of yours. And it's a process, and it's not always just one thing. So you got to be open to change. If, change can come in many ways. Change can come through ideas that you come up with, something you read, something you saw in a movie maybe that sparked an interest. Maybe someone came to you and suggested you do this and that. Just don't be so resistant to different opportunities and different things that maybe you haven't even considered before, because they might lead you somewhere that you actually feel more aligned with, happier. But I feel like you're unsure as to what it is because you haven't even gotten out there to try things, and you kind of have to do it, because they won't just magically come to you on its own. So that's the card for you, Jeremy. So good luck. Okay, so thank you everyone who joined us today. We will be finishing now as it's time. As usual, we do these lives, most weeks on Thursdays. So we'll be back. If you just like and subscribe, that would help us a lot. And you will also be notified of any future events. Okay.
All right. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.